Hello, I'm Kelly and welcome to my Flosstube channel, Animal Instinct. It's Saturday the 4th of November 2023 and I'm back with another cross-stitching update. Thanks so much for spending some time with me today. I hope you're well and are enjoying your stitching. Thank you very much to all of my existing subscribers and welcome if you're new. Today I am going to share with you all of the stitching I got done in October. I had a really fun month, started loads of things, didn't get much progress on any one project, but I have a whole new pile of projects now. The first 2 weeks of October I had off work and so I just blobbed around at home. I got a lot of stitching done then, and then the last 3 weeks, yeah, I've been back at work and in the office each day, so lots of time in the car, less time for stitching, but that's okay. I've done my best. So if you're new, just to sort of explain what's going on this month, last year I started 5 spooky themed patterns with Jo from Belushi Stitches on YouTube and Instagram, and we really enjoyed that last year. Neither of us finished any of them. Neither of us have finished any of them yet. But we decided to start a whole bundle more. So I've got all those starts. Of the 5 from last year, I had spent a little bit of time on 2 of them already this year, so I did just want to touch the rest. So I'm going to start with those and then we'll get into the new starts. So the first one from last year was Teresa Kogut's Silhowitches Quaker. And this would have helped if I was organised. Here we go. I'm stitching it on 40 count linen in Bee's Knees from Seraphim Fabrics. Just a beautiful colour. That's where I'm up to. I'll just bring it in a little bit. There's a cat behind the camera threatening to topple things, so hopefully he'll behave. So I think this year I've come in, I finished this motif and then I did the star and the bat and the candlestick, and I'm pretty sure I've done that and that. So a nice little addition, but there's plenty more to go. That's just fine. The second one from last year that I pulled out this year is the Frosted Pumpkins Halloween wreath. And I'll show you where I was last year. So this is what I did last year. This is month 1, so it came out over, I think it was a year, every month. This is on a 32 count linen. It's Silver Springs from Colour Cascade Fabrics. And so that was month 1, and then I've gone ahead and done month 2 as well. So that's where it's at the moment. There's loads to go. I'll bring it in. There's a potion jar and a cat holding a pumpkin and some lollies and a bat. And under the house there's a big bow tie, and that's the bottom of the wreath. So I'm doing this one in Cosmo threads just to try them out, and they're so far so good. They're nice to stitch with. And then the last one from last year that I pulled out, I've barely touched. I can't quite remember. I think I got, yeah, I've written it down, 120 stitches, so figure out which is 120 stitches on this one. It's the very popular Halloween Quaker by Lila Studio, and that's where I'm up to. So I must have done maybe here, I think. And it's a 40 count eucalyptus from Fox and Rabbit. It's a bit more green than it's showing. That looks grey to me in the camera, but it is a green. Yeah, not much on that one. Okay, so then we go into spooky starts from this year. The first one I had started in my last video, Here's Trouble. It's the Witchy Stitches All Treats No Tricks, which I got as a kit with fox and rabbit linen and cottage garden threads. I think last time I'd done this, I'll show you, this is where it's at. It's a 28 count linen, I think it was Fossil. I think I'd done this one last time, can't quite remember, and I wanted to do the border so I can leave the fun stuff till the end. So I managed to get all the way around this side, and I've just got to bring it around the corner here. There's a cauldron down here so it doesn't go all the way across, but I think that's coming along really nicely. The threads are lovely, they're great colours, and yeah, really nice. Okay, spooky start number 2 for this year. Joe and I started A Touch of Magic from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. I've printed out some of the covers, but not very well. Anyway, that's what it's going to look like. This is just a little bit of an experiment to see if I can do less editing, but we'll see. I'm not sure. So far I'm unsure. Anyway, I started it, so again this is when I was still on holidays. I'm doing it on 32 count linen from No. 12 Stitch Co, and it is Blundstone. That is the fabric, and that is what I got done. So I can't see. I actually managed to get the whole top row done, which I was pretty happy with. So I think that's the whole width, and it's come together really nicely. Spooky start number 3. Again, I've printed it off really badly. It's Happy Halloween by Love for Cross Stitch. You can get this pattern on Etsy, and that is it. So every letter is a different little image. This one is also on No. 12 Stitch Co linen, 32 count linen in Decrepit, and this is where I got to. So that's the fabric. Just bring it in. I had a goal to finish the H for Halloween, which I did, and I was really enjoying working on it. So the castle is the H for Halloween. My initial goal was to, like, as I do each letter, I'll also do the back stitching, which I did. And then there's all this swirly stuff. It kind of swirls around the letters. It's all half stitches, and I thought I should probably do them as I go as well. Otherwise I don't want to leave that till the end. The only thing that's missing is some French knots in here. I put them in and they just looked really chunky. And I couldn't work out why they looked so just not good. Then I realised I was talking at the same time as stitching. Sometimes that goes badly. I'd somehow threaded 3 strands of DMC onto my needle and I left it to start with, but they just didn't look good. So there's not many French knots in this whole piece. I'm going to leave them till the end so I don't squish them in the Q-snap or anything. But then, yeah, when I finished the H, I moved on to the A, and I haven't done any of the back stitching there, but I have finished all of the cross stitches. So, and the L, double L, I think are 2 candlesticks here. I really like this one. Jo found that. I'd never seen it before. I'm not sure how she came across it, but good find. Okay, the next one, which is Spooky Start number 4, is another dodgy printed cover. The Blue Flower Halloween Parade. I'm stitching this on a piece of Whoopsie Daisy fabric from Daisy Chain Stitchery here in Australia. I've got the Flosstube itchy face today. It's hay fever season here. And it's called Charcoal Grey. It's everything's creased. I haven't ironed anything, but it's a really nice colour. And didn't get a huge amount on this one, but I really like how it's looking so far. So I'm going to show it to you like this. Start with, that is what I've done. So cute. That cat dressed up as a peacock. I love it. And then I had a whoopsie daisy moment. Again, I was chatting and not focusing on what I was doing. And somehow I drew on my fabric with a red gel pen. So I have a nice splodge of red, and I'm pretty sure that is not going to be stitched over, and it's still in the area that you'll see. I'm not going to be able to wash that out, but what I'll do, I'll just I'll finish the piece and then I'll stitch something over it so you won't know it's there. I'll find something to put there. But that is, yes, I love that cat. I did write down how many stitches I've been doing. I'll start telling you now. So we're up to Spooky Start number 5, Welcome Foolish Mortals by the Witchy Stitcher. This is on a piece of 28 count opal casual linen from Chromatic Alchemy, and it is the colour, sorry, it's 28 count opal Brittany, which is an even weave rather than a linen. Yeah. The colour is Flotsam and Jetsam, which is this really great sparkly fabric. What I did, gosh, I think it was probably start of 2018, maybe late 2017. There weren't too many options to get pretty fabrics in Australia then that I knew of. And so I tried a few from overseas, and I'll buy a few little pieces to make postage worthwhile. So some bigger and some like sample sort of size pieces, just to get an idea of what they look like. And I'm just slowly working through them now. I don't know how I haven't stitched something on this before. Anyway, this is where I got to with this one. I did 1250 stitches and it's at 30%. I'm stitching it in PR070, which is Silk's View Solid Black. There is white in the white of the eyes, which I think is just here. And I'll probably do them in glow in the dark thread. I thought the counting on this one might be a bit tricky, but it's been fine. I really enjoyed working on that one. Okay, Spooky Start number 6. Blissfully Unaware by Hands-On Design. Now I'm going to use, hang on. I was going to say I'm going to use the DMC, but not quite. So I started with the moon. Now this project is bigger, much bigger than I realised. Anyway, I started with the moon and the bats at the top there. So I'm doing the moon in the cold 4 thread, which is Moon Glow by Weeks Dye Works, and I'll just have enough to do the whole lot. I'm doing the black of the bats and probably the text in that same Silks For You PR070 because I have a hank of it, so I'm just trying to use it whenever I can. I'll probably do glow in the dark, the hands there. So I managed 1300 stitches on this. This one's on a piece of Crossed Wing Collection linen. It's 30 count, so I'm stitching it 2/2, so 15 count. Part of the reason why it's so big, but it is a big, it is a big pattern, bigger than I realised, and that's where I got to. So on the 30 count over 2/2, the black silk is quite solid, whereas the Weeks, you can see like every detail of every stitch. It's quite interesting, the difference, and you can see a tiny bit of the fabric through it. But I think it looks great. So it'll come across to, I guess, about here. So that one's coming along really nicely. Spooky Start number 7, another dodgy printout. This is not entirely sure of the name, going with Cat Silhouette, from MiAXStitch on Etsy. Inspired by Deb Wilson. She did a really great job on this, and that's how I found the pattern. This one's on a 32 count linen. It's XG Design Marble Terracotta. And I mean, there's a lot of half stitches in this, and I'm just counting them all as single stitches. I did 2,120 stitches and I made it to 50%. Now that's before you take into account all the back stitch. There's heaps of back stitch, but that is how it's coming along. So you'll see the you'll see the details more when you start to stitch. But yeah, I'm really enjoying that. Okay. Spooky Start number 8 is Book of Shadows by Living on a Rainbow. I'll have a photo here because I don't have the cover. I started the cover of the book, which is full coverage, just on Ada, and I've done about 950 stitches. And that is what I've done. I don't know how well you can see, like this is all Chromatic Gold. And then up here are 2 snakes in like an emerald green Chromatic. I'm just a bit concerned because the stitches around them are all 3371. I don't know if they're going to get lost amongst the dark brown. But anyway. I'm sure it'll be fine. So yeah, that's the size of the book. Then there's a spine and the back. Oh, I think this is the back actually. So spine and the front cover still, and you do that all in one piece, and then you stitch the pages separately. That's going to be fun. Okay. Oh, we're going to have a little brief interlude here from the spooky stitching. I got distracted. It was strange. I had a busy day at work, but I had this kit it was just on my mind all day. I have no idea why. I wasn't planning on starting it. I mean, I want to start it one day, but I hadn't planned anytime soon, but I just needed to, and so when I got home later that evening, I just decided to, oh well, I'm starting everything, why not just put some stitches into it. It's probably not going to get touched again for a while now, but yeah, just because I'm showing you everything. The pattern I was thinking about, and I don't know why, anyway, it was Buddha by Pamela Varacek. It's Gecko Rouge kit. And I love the colours, the design. Very calming. So I started this on 28 count Lugana, 1/1 full cross. It's not going to be huge. That's the whole piece of fabric, and it's got nice big margins. And I found them by finding the middle and working my way out because I didn't want to make a mistake. And yeah, there's really barely anything to show you. I think it was 0.19 of a % is what I managed to do in green. It's 160 stitches. One day you'll see me come back to that, but not yet. The other thing before I go back to my spooky starts, and this kind of fits in the timeline too, I found a floss tuber in the wild. It was really funny. I was driving home from work, close to home. The traffic was pretty slow and I was just kind of gazing out the window, just waiting, bored. And a familiar face was walking past and I was like, is that her? Because I've never met her. I didn't think she lived anywhere near me, but I was just, is it her? Is it not? I think it's her. Should I toot? I have my sunnies on. So I thought she might not recognise me. And then the traffic's, you know, carried on and I missed her. But I messaged her. It was Nancy from Bohemian Stitchery here on YouTube and on Instagram. And yes, it was Nancy. Turns out we live quite close to each other. Yeah, it was funny just seeing her out of context. It just took me a second to think, is that her or not? Anyway, so we met for coffee. Oh my gosh, I'm so like muddled with time. Was it last weekend, I think? It was really nice to meet you, Nancy. I had a really great time. We both brought stitching with us. We didn't take it out of the bag, our bags though. We were just too busy chatting. So I hope to do that again soon, Nancy. If you don't know Nancy, please go and check her out on Flosstube. I'll pop the link in the description below. She's in the under 1,000 subs club, so give her some love. She is very experienced, has been stitching for a long time, has a nice wide variety of projects, lots of different whips, isn't afraid to start things, so I love all that. Into her full coverage as well. So yeah, if you're interested, go check Nancy out, and yeah, hope we can do that again soon, Nancy, and maybe we might even do some stitching. Okay, so back to spooky stitching. We're almost there. I think I'm rushing because we're not far through really. It hasn't been that long. I'm actually filming this, what time is it? It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I normally I just had to go and see what the Big Bang was, and Reggie had pushed something over. I actually normally film these in the morning, and it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so it feels really weird to be doing it this time of day. I think that might be why I'm rushing, because anyway, everything's happening. Spooky start number 9 is Mill Hill kit, and it is Ravens. So I stitched, oh, I just totally guessed. I guessed that I did 250 stitches, but really I've got no idea. Anyway, that's what oh. That is what I did. Yeah, I don't mind stitching on perforated paper, something different. And this one might become a bit of a travel piece like my last Mill Hill was, although this one's a bit bigger, so I'm not sure. Anyway. Okay, and then Spooky Start number 10. This is Black Cat by Lorna, Laine. It's a Gecko Rouge kit. Surprise, surprise. There we go. Stitching it on 25 count Garner, 1/1 full cross, and I have the strangest start going on. That is my start. So what happened was I started, I think that must be the very middle, that gold sort of colour. So I started and I got them done, and then there was one single stitch in that colour up here, and I just carried my thread and did it. And then, oh, I couldn't flip. I could have just done a pin stitch to finish that one off. But I couldn't flip my Q-snap over, it was on my Lowry, because Jemima was sitting like right here. That's her favourite spot to sit in the evenings, and I couldn't, I couldn't interrupt her. Anyway, so I couldn't flip it, so I decided I'd start the navy and stitch over the gold tail. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, I think last time I started in the middle when I did this one. I think I started in the middle and worked my way up and then came down, and I think I'll probably do that when I get back to this one too. So yeah, I did 139 on that one. So that's the end of the planned starts, but it doesn't end there. So I have 3 more. First of all, the Witchy Stitcher came out with a pattern recently, the Black Pearl, and I saw it and I thought, oh yeah, I like that, I'll have to stitch that one day. And then kind of moved on, because I had quite a few starts happening. And then Jo mentioned that she and Emma from MiAXStitching were going to start it. So, why not? I was, like I said, I was enjoying all these starts, so I didn't mind having another one. This is another piece of that Chromatic Alchemy order I made, I mentioned before. This is a 28 count opal casual, so linen, and it's in Feldspar, and that is my start. So that is Silks for You, again, that black PR070. It's just going to fit. It's going to be a little bit tight, but it'll fit. It's going to be tight on the sides. I'm going to do the ship in black and probably another silk for the text and like the sea and the tentacles down the bottom. But I've got ages till I get back to it, probably, in all likelihood. That would be nice to finish something one day. Oh, this is the silk I was thinking of doing the rest of it in. Oh gosh, hang on. It's purple, navy and a dark teal. We'll see. Okay, next. I have had this one kitted up for a while, and I thought, why not? While I'm starting everything, let's start this one. This is Nora Corbett Moonglow. I can't remember if I've shown this. I got it earlier this year, I think, or last year, I can't remember. But But anyway, it's not, oops, sorry. Ah, the light. There's not actually much stitching in it. So I'm using the called for threads and beads. The called for fabric is Mediterranean Sea Linen by Witchy. And I actually had something similar. This is from XG Design. It's a 32 count and it's called Antique Teal. Now did I do on this one? Oh, Black Pearl I got 408 stitches. This one I got 393. Which way does it go? It goes this way. Reggie, no. There we go. Again, it's kind of looking like grey, but it's not grey. Go away. He likes all the dangly tags on the fabric. It is more green than, I don't know what it's showing. Anyway, that's her hair. I won't get them out, but these are the water lilies. Oh, they're just so nice. And some of the beads. So I think that's the kind of project where if I, you know, just worked on it for a week, I could probably finish it, I think. Maybe 2 weeks. Okay, and lucky last now. I enjoyed stitching that Miss Honeybee recently by Nora Corbett, and I've had this Mirabilia kitted up for a while, and again I thought, oh, while I'm starting everything, why not? So this is Royal Games one. Now I have a piece of 32 count white opal Lugana from Zweigart, and it's so nice. It's, I don't know if you can see the sparkle. Anyway, and it's also really easy to stitch on. That is my little start. Oh, I didn't write down the stitch. Oh, I didn't even bother counting stitches actually. Anyway, that's a start. That's the crown in her hair. In the Queen of Hearts hair. Not the crown, it's like a floral crown. Now this piece of fabric, I did the maths, and if I get it wrong, I'm allowed to blame someone. But I'm pretty sure, well, it's definitely going to fit here. There's heaps of room, and I might possibly be able to fit Royal Games 2 here, but if not, there's a whole other half. So there will be 2 of them eventually, I hope, on this fabric, whether they're next to each other or I cut the fabric and do them separately, I'm not sure. That's a problem for much later down the track. But I'm really looking forward to really getting stuck into that one too. Okay, now I thought that was going to be it, and it is everything I've started so far. I really enjoyed it, but I am kind of started out, if that makes sense. I probably could keep starting things, but I really just want to like focus on a couple projects at a time. So that was going to be it for a while. However, I think it was in the last few days, Christy from Christy's Corner Needlework has released the 3rd in her Medieval Marginalia series, and I've stitched the first 2, so I'm going to have to stitch the 3rd one. I'll put it in here. It's just funny, and well, yeah, gotta stitch it. She's done a really good replication of what was in the original, you know, medieval text, or on the sides. So I like this cheeky series, and yeah, I will have to start that. I just don't know when. It's coming, it's coming. The other thing that I didn't get to this month, or in October, was my Perfect Squares by Beautiful Stitches. That is a stitch along going until the end of the year. Yeah, the end of the year. So I'm a whole month behind. I won't show it here, but I am planning on trying to get up to date this month, although I haven't done any of the second release, and the third release has come out today, and there's only 4, so we'll see how that goes. I'm not really sure what else I'm going to work on. I just need to like pack up all of my October stuff and get myself organized again. So that was my October. Had a lot of fun. I'm glad Joe was there doing all the starts as well. It's good to have someone to join you in these silly escapades like we do. Definitely need a little bit of a break though from the starts. My next update will be my last update for the year. Can you believe that? It'll be early December, and then by the end of December it'll be time for the end of year whip parade, and oh my gosh, I am going to have a lot. It's going to be really good to go through them all and organize them and work out exactly what I'm going to be doing next year. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, maybe got some inspiration. Did you start any of those, or did you start any spooky themed pieces? We're kind of heading into Christmas now, so maybe there's some Christmas stitching on the cards. Whatever you're doing, I hope you continue to enjoy it. And until next time, happy stitching. See ya.